You are now listening to the O.P.O.V podcast.
I did have another question for you, though.
Okay.
What do you think about, how do you feel if a guy says something like, when are you going to take me on a date? Or do you feel like do you feel like the guy should always court the woman?
I take somebody on a date.
But it would be your idea.
It wouldn't be the first date, but I would treat them.
Okay, I'm talking about the first date.
On the first date?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Is that a deal breaker?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it would be.
I just always.
I don't want to set the tone for our relationship as I'm gonna always be.
Well, if the woman's
paying for our date.
If the woman came out and said, if you came out and said it, like there might have been something you might really want to do, and you have a good conversation, you might bring it up and you might do it. But so if you did it, if you came out and just it was your idea, I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. But when the guy does it, I feel like that's kind of suspect. Like when a guy asks a woman, like, when are you going to take me on a date? That's weird to me. I feel like...
Let me tell you something that's so embarrassing. I can't even really believe that I'm getting ready to admit this to everybody. But, well, it shouldn't be embarrassing on my part. But it was just like so crazy that it happened to me. So I was on a dating website, right? Uh-huh. And so me and this guy, we were talking. And we were talking pretty regularly every day. He was pretty cool. But he was long distance, right? I want to say he was in either D.C. or Maryland or something like that.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where he was supposed to come up and visit. Yeah. And we were talking about him coming. So he says to me, if I come up there, are you going to give me some gas money? I was like... I answered him with a question. I said, let me ask you this. Are you always comfortable asking women for money?
What did he say?
He was like, well, I'll never do it again if you're just going to throw it up in my face.
Well, I'd be like, well, that's a good teaching lesson for you. Don't do it again.
No, there was actually never a conversation between me and him ever again. I was so shocked and appalled that he had the nerve to ask me for gas money. Like, dude, we're just going to be like meeting each other for the first time and you're asking me for gas money?
Yeah,
like you're a clown.
Clown. But you got to see the signs, and you seen the signs. So good job.
Thanks. Oh, I was like,
but
that was one of the things that really turned me off to using dating sites. Because I was like, I can meet a clown like this down the street.
Yeah.
You know, just walking around day to day. What do I need a website for this? So yeah, that's the thing that kind of like turned me off.
And again, I don't think Steve Harvey is like God or wrote the Bible. I don't really like when girls try to throw what he quote back in the guy's face, because he's just a black male with his own opinion. But he is right as far as like, you got to see the signs from day one. If a guy is not trying to court you, there's no reason why he should even be looking to date. He need to get himself right first before he even try to date somebody like you.
But I think a lot of my advice, well, who am I to be giving advice? I think one thing that has helped me to weed out all the frogs is don't jump up in the bed with them all quick. Like, because as soon as you start having sex, you're developing that emotional connection or that soul tie. You can weed them out fairly quickly if you just don't even go to that level of intimacy that fast.
But there's a lot of people that are clowns. A lot of guys that are clowns. They will wait it out. And they will sit there and bug you until you finally let your guard down and be vulnerable. I know a lot of women that deal with guys that's just like playing goofy, and the girl sit up there and tell him that she's not giving him anything, and he'll sit there and just wait, just keep waiting.
So do you think that that's if a guy does that, does that mean that you have at least one other person in your back pocket that you're dealing with?
No, because a lot of times the girl won't take him serious, and she will end up going on a date or dating someone else.
Oh, so she friend zones him.
Yeah, friend zones him. But a lot of guys that's in the friend zone will keep waiting until they think one day they're going to get their shot.
Okay, so you're just kind of like hanging around.
Yes,
you're not
there's a
really
lot of guys
like
that's hanging around.
Trying to, after you get to a certain point, you're not necessarily trying to date her per se, but you're just trying to make sure you're like in her life, kind of in the picture to some capacity.
I wish we had a lot of women in the room.
Keenan's talking about I test drive before I buy a car. What does that even mean?
But there's if you could ask girls, a lot of girls, even though they put a guy in their friend zone, while that guy's in the friend zone, they still got to decline his offer.
So wait, so Keenan, are you saying that, because we're not talking about asking somebody to marry you. We're just talking about being committed, like saying that's my girl. You're saying you have to have sex with her before you claim her as your girl? Is that what you're saying? I need answers now. I guess can you answer that?
I mean, guys are different. Some guys do that, some guys don't. On my end, I would say yeah.
You do have to have sex before you say this is my girl.
I think everybody's different. I don't think every guy's like that, but I think, that's just me.
You think you do have to sleep with her before you say this is my girl.
I mean, you would want to make sure that there's some type of bedroom chemistry. Because there's been girls that I've loved, like, as far as, like, thought they were beautiful and thought that we would have made the best husband and wife. And when you slept with them, it was like, man, what was I thinking?
But I don't know, for me, I think that sex is such a non-issue to me. Like, when I've dealt with different guys, sex has been a non-issue. Every issue we've had in those situations has been everything else but that.
I mean, but that every girl can't say that, so you can't. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, sometimes the chemistry don't be there.
Keenan says not really, but sexual chemistry keeps the relationship working.
Exactly. That's like what I'm saying. Like some chemistry be off. I'm telling you, man. It's just like.
I mean, I know.
And that'll get to the point where it'll have somebody cheating.
Yeah, that's true.
So before you even get to that stage where you want to cheat, just like cut it off.
So, what about a different approach? Okay, so you cultivate a relationship with this person, and then you guys decide that you're ready to take it to the next level and have sex. Now, this is different.
Hold on, what?
You cultivate a relationship with this woman. Yeah. You guys are dating, and you feel like, wow, I really get along with her well. We have great chemistry and all of that. And so you want to make her your girl, and we're not talking about sex at this point. Just entertain this thought where I'm going, because I know you both have said that you got to have sex before you make this woman your girl. So you make her your girl, and then y'all do have sex, and then the sex is terrible. Do you feel like it's something that you wouldn't be able to improve?
Well, communication.
Right.
So I'll probably give it a few months. Like, you probably, after we have our talk, we'll probably give it a few months, try a few things out, see if that'll help the chemistry out. If that don't work, we ain't for each other. Sometimes you can't, you can't put AAA batteries in a AA remote. It don't work. It just don't work. So.
I mean, that is true, but you don't think that would be a better approach, especially having open communication and saying, hey, look, this sex is really important to me.
Definitely.
I'm not really feeling our sexual chemistry. So,
Yeah, no, that'll work. But at the end of the day, how many people's actually balls enough to do that? A lot of people. A lot of people would rather just cheat and tell whoever they cheating with, man, my wife can't do this, or my wife don't do this.
Keenan says depends. Chemistry is chemistry.
You know what I mean?
So what are you saying? Chemistry is chemistry. So either you got sexual chemistry or you don't.
But communicate. No, because I think sometimes you might not know what the other person really like, or what could get her to climax the way she wants to climax, and she might think just laying there is cool. Like, but if you don't like it, let her know.
Pillow princess.
Yeah, because honestly, me being a sad dude for a lot of chicks, there's a lot of times where the girl will shit on the husband or the boyfriend,
But
but not
see,
let him know.
with Keenan, listen, you're saying either you have it or you don't, but I don't necessarily agree with that because there's been sometimes where you first start out and it may not be too good, and then you get to a point where you do end up building chemistry. Like, I'm one to not beat around the bush. I will say, well, can you do this way, or I like this, or da da da. As long as the person shows a willingness, I'm like, okay, well, maybe we can move forward. If after we move forward, you're still terrible and it's just not working, okay, then we can.
Or there's some people that they'll be great at the beginning, then get lazy after a while. That happens too, because they may not be like. A lot of times, you might be attracted to somebody when you first begin in a relationship, but there could be something to turn you off. They might do something to turn you directly off from them, but now you might not even be stimulated from that person anymore, like psychologically.
Can you be, if somebody does something to turn you completely off, can they turn you back on?
It's so hard for me. Like, mentally, that always be on the back of my head. Like, and I'm the type of person that's willing to go to counseling. If I'm like in a deep relationship on that, I'm willing to go to counseling, but yeah, if some turn me off like
he says,
that.
or she ain't got no walls. Best friend looks good, but sex is trash. Won't work.
Man, yeah, because there's some people that really disappointed me to the point where.
Disappointed in the bedroom or disappointed in other ways?
No, in the bedroom.
Okay.
So it's like, dang, you had such high hopes for that person. It's just like, no.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like men aren't as hard to please.
No, we're not.
So that's what makes it
We're
terrible.
But a lot of women they keep that guard up too. Even in the bedroom. You know what I mean? You got to have the woman comfortable enough to where she could let herself go.
So what if a woman said to y'all, hey, listen, I'm on this spiritual journey and I feel like it would be best if we waited until we were married?
How far along are we?
What do you mean?
Are we just friends? And she say that?
Well, you guys said that you wouldn't make somebody.
Yeah, so why you said exactly? So how you said?
Oh, so I guess you.
Yeah,
would.
like where are we even at?
So would you say? Okay, you went on a couple of dates and you're having conversations, and the woman says, "Well, I'm on a spiritual journey, and I really feel like it's best that I wait."
Like, what hit me when you trying to get married? Call me when you try to get married. Yeah, I ain't waiting for that. No. You could scratch that with me.
I feel like that'll be a lot of men's reactions unless they feel like they need to get on the same type of spiritual journey.
I'm being serious. Like, now, if somebody tell me they're abstinence and they're just...
I know you're serious, and I feel like that would be the reaction of most men.
Now, if you're telling me you're practicing abstinence, but it's just to the point where you're tired of dealing with fuck niggas, I could get with you on that journey and go through it, but you know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that we're waiting until we get married. If you feel like you digging me, then you could give me whatever you want to give me. But if it's to the point where you're like, I'm definitely waiting. But a lot of girls say that they're waiting till marriage, and then once they start feeling you, that whole thing change. Yeah. So I take it for what it's worth. If she's being stubborn to the point we can't even do foreplay after like the second or third date, then I probably would want to stay in the friend zone. I wouldn't probably want to, you know what I mean? But if she's cool with going like far as least foreplaying and doing all that stuff, I don't like saying this, but I could crack the code. I think
most men feel like that.
Yeah. So as long as you could get me to the safe, I could crack the code.
Keegan says you got to bring more than sex to the table. So knowing that sex can help build a spiritual bond. I get it, but I'm not buying a lemon.
Swear. But again, it's not her job to just give it to me either. Like, if you lead me to the safe, I'll be able to crack the code. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Like, but if you're just gonna be a prude until you get married, I ain't messing with you.
Yeah, but I think also with me being a grown up, I wouldn't even do that to nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not gonna be going through the whole foreplay rigmarole, and I go, oh no, We can't do that.
But I would
Like,
rather
grow
that
up.
than me kiss on your neck. You be like, stop. Let's read our Bible. No, I ain't going for that. That'll be the first and last time we pray together.
First of all, that's weird. But, you know, I feel like there are non-verbal cues that you could send to somebody. Some people don't get non-verbal cues, and I get that. But I'm going to say that most people do. And you can tell by my body language if I'm open to letting you come close to me or touch me or whatever.
No, it ain't going to be on the Jason Mitchell type stuff. It's definitely, you got to have that chemistry to where everything's flowing right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What are we walking away with today? Or do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because I still feel like when it comes to black men and black women specifically, there's so many different things that we would need to work on in order to build a stronger relationship between us.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it ain't black and white. There's so many gray areas, and then with us not even being in a place where we can help each other out financially, and like you said, everybody's in survival mode. Mm-hmm. That high anxiety and that stress don't help us at all either.
Yeah, like where I'm at right now, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I just need you to be good.
But you're not good because what you gonna do is if your husband ain't gonna be with you. No.
I'm talking about like before we get there. Like right now, as a single mom, I'm cool. Yeah. But I don't want to entertain somebody who can't take care of themselves.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want them to already have. Yeah. You got to be prepared before you sit down and eat. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. And again, no guy should be asking you for gas money. If he don't got gas money, he shouldn't be going out on a date. It's as simple as that. Exactly. And it might be an off-pay week, but we should be already be 4 or 5 dates in, right? Before that, and now I have to bring it up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be on the dating site and talking about because what is he going to do? What you going to have to if you want something to eat, you going to have to pay for that too?
Right. I mean, whatever he do, he gonna have to do with somebody else because you ain't doing that with me. That right there was crazy.
But it's more common than not.
Right, because I feel like where I'm at, like right now, I mean, I'm 38. Mm-hmm. I'm in a good place, you know, so I can take care of myself and my daughter. So I need to know that at minimum, this person makes enough to take care of themselves and to thrive on their own, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
So I don't know.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the O.P.O.V podcast.